Hallo und herzlich willkommen. Sean Shelton and myself, Wednesday afternoon, Pirates Cove Time. Und ich bin zurück, mal wieder. Nice to be here.
It's nice to have you. That somebody who actually knows what he's doing.
Ja,
I'm 1 for 3. I've had 3 shows where I'm the host, so to say,
aha.
and one has gone smoothly.
One was completely
No, one was an absolute cluster fudge.
fudge. And last week was like semi.
Yeah, it was like some takeoff troubles, and then once I called the hotline, the health hotline, then I figured it out. We took off.
And that's the first thing I want to tell you, Sean. Always, if it tells you, do you want to make an update? Click yes.
I thought it would. See, that's the thing. I said no because I don't want it to change anything. It worked last time.
So
You see what I mean? So if it updated and changed like a format or something, I didn't want that. So it's like, no, don't update. I know this software works. And
but how would the new updated version look like? So
no, but like with an iPhone, like sometimes the updates are like
course,
you
yeah.
don't just do the thing that works.
but with OBS, always there's almost every week an update. So do the update.
Now I know.
So now we know. Now I'm back. Now we have to change the camera a little bit, so I'm a little bit more in the picture. Nice. And yeah, long time no see. Sean, first question of the night. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Had a good week.
Mhm.
It was nice to kind of have a technology break and a football break.
Technology break.
Yeah, I try to take there's an actual like soft science term for it where it's like screen pause or something. So I try not
No,
to have my
it's
phone.
Detox, digital
It's
detox.
digital detox, thank you. So I try to have my phone away during the day and big shower for big men does not exist everywhere. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Alice. But yeah, so I try to put that away, stay off the internet as much as possible, and just live in the moment, old school. You know what I mean?
And how long was the digital detox? 2 hours, 3 hours?
Basically during the day. So
Okay.
like I have a terrible habit where I get on my phone at night before I sleep, and I know that's awful. Like the blue light and first thing in the morning as well, which is also awful. So I did the two worst things, but I didn't do the middle thing. So like when I got and started my day, I tried to put my phone away and just be present.
Nice.
How was
Uh,
your week?
Nice.
Okay.
I went to the mountain a little bit today. My first day back in the office, kind of half day, and yeah, no, all easy. It's still hot in Tyrol. It's still hot in the sauna, and that's why maybe a shower for a big man does not exist everywhere. Elias, danke für deine Subscription. 2. Monat. Sehr cool, danke. Ja, Freunde, wir haben viel zu tun. We have a lot to talk about. And we maybe start, also if it's already 1 week behind, 1.5 weeks behind. But let's talk about our last game. Because
Okay.
last week there wasn't a show. And
Correct.
so we have to do a little review about the last game.
That's right.
We went to Leipzig,
Mhm.
and it was one of the longer trips for this season.
Mhm.
We started the night before. We had the opportunity to travel in sleeping buses, so we didn't miss a day at home. We traveled at night. The guys slept in the bus. We arrived at Leipzig in the beautiful Bruno Plachisch Stadium, where I only was as a soccer fan a long, long time ago, and it's
Do you think
still.
it is a beautiful stadium?
I think it's one of the beautiful. Let's say it this way: it's an historic place. I mean, the soccer club from Leipzig was the first German soccer champion, I think in 1902 or 3. And the stands is the oldest wooden stands in the world, like the main. And for soccer, it's an historic place, and you don't find a lot of these old stadiums anymore in Germany.
Probably for like safety reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there are worse stadiums too.
Um, in the ELF,
in the ELF.
that we've played. I don't. Cologne,
Cologne,
but Cologne was similar, right? It's these small tribune,
and then you
and
have
then
an
you have the
athletic track.
wraparounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing that is hardest with these stadium is even the fans are so far away, right?
Yeah.
With the Generali or Tivoli or even in Stuttgart, I forget the name of that one.
Gazzi Stadion.
Gazzi. It's a much more intimate environment.
Mhm.
You feel like you're as a player, you feel like you're playing on an open visa,
Yeah.
kind of like a field, because they're just so far away.
Yeah. But the outcome of the game, as we all know, was pretty successful.
Yes.
The stadium really didn't matter at that moment, and we won it in a really impressive way, I would say, especially I think of all three phases of the game, we can say we dominated.
Mhm.
Offensively, we started quick,
Mhm.
especially after a long ride, which was important, I think, also for the mindset.
Mhm.
We started quick and hot, came out. You had a pretty good performance.
One of my better ones, actually.
We rotated quickly. Defense was strong. Special teams worked well, and overall it was a really successful day. No injuries, and yeah. Should we watch the highlights and talk about it?
We can.
Let's
We
do
can.
it. Let's go in there. Let's skip the chip. Good. So, interesting kicker. He was in the GFL before, from Dresden. Really strong. And yeah, we got the ball.
It's nice. You had mentioned it, that our special teams was so good, and I think having CJ has helped a lot. He's made a bigger impact on special teams than he has on offense at the moment. As we get into it,
you mentioned it in the ELF podcast. I heard it, that his quickness in special teams as a returner helped, and yeah. And here, first half, I think Marco Schneider was.
He's such a good football player. It's hard to really state his impact, because it's not like, I mean, he had good stats on this game, but he'll never finish the year with like Quentin Pound stats or whatever. But that dude is so impactful in a game.
Yeah. It was also nice to see AJ again, former teammate of us, played here last season.
Marco doesn't want me to score touchdowns. That's what that was.
But then you got the other one.
Where he fell down and then I QB sneaked. QB sneaks are the best thing ever. I almost QB sneaked it there.
And there, nice run by CJ. And yeah, offensive line was super strong at that game. And the real Sächsisch just posted it, best O-line in the ELF. Did you saw the article today on the ELF homepage?
No.
They ranked the best three offensive lines, and also by sacks and yards for loss.
Yeah.
We are the best.
No, I think statistically we're the best. I mean, not every team has the luxury of having like a very, very elusive and mobile quarterback such as myself, like,
Of course, which
I've heard people say like ELF Michael Vick, but I've heard people say, I haven't said it, I've heard people say it.
I mean, you compare yourself to Tom Brady, so this
I don't. People compare me
No,
to
you
Tom
do.
Brady.
You have
No.
number 12. You read his books.
I was
when
You know what? You know why
You know-
I went number 12?
wait,
You know why I have number 12?
because number what
I
was-
went 14 in college,
Yeah.
and I got here, and they threw me in a schmedium, and fat rolls rolling out the jersey, and they're like,
You
hey,
want to show that picture? to them?
no, I don't.
Okay.
And it's like, hey, this isn't gonna work, and our equipment manager at the time goes, we don't have any bigger,
Yeah.
and so 12 was it. And then
I
later,
mean, there were probably some lineman numbers.
no, and then later that year, I found a large 14 jersey in the
Really?
yeah, so it was just out of whatever you want to call it that I wear 12.
Yeah. This is your story. I think it's still impressive that you have a 2 meter size Tom Brady picture in your bedroom. But
I don't.
let it go.
No, I want when we talk about
Yeah.
elusiveness, like
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, eyes in the back of my head. There's Toby.
Crazy ball.
Stupid ball.
When I was young and started playing football, I started as like fullback tight end thing, and I can remember our offensive coordinator in the meeting. We were going through plays or whatever, and then he told our quarterback never throw across the field.
You're not supposed to.
And no, but back to seriousness. You're right. I think it helps as an offensive lineman. It helps a lot that you have a quarterback who can move.
It was more of a joke than anything because other guys have that too. But our offensive line is the best in the ELF, and in almost every metric, they're top 3. Right. I think they're the best in sack rate, and that's a unit. Like I take pride in that too because I call protections and I move around in the pocket. But they're the best pass blocking O-line, and they're one of the best run blocking. If I haven't looked at the stats in a little while, but statistically, their metrics, everything that you can measure on an O-line that's somewhat relatable because there's no quantitative way to grade an O-line, they're in the top 3. I mean, it's really impressive the season they've put together.
Yeah.
And it's no coincidence that we're also the best offense in yards per game. Yeah. Like those two things go hand in hand, right?
Yeah. And one thing which hurt us, especially last year, we don't have injuries at the offensive line.
Correct.
The group stayed together. I think Habertin
missed the first 2 games.
First 2 games, but since that, they played the whole season together as a unit, which helps a lot at the offensive line.
Absolutely.
And there you see again CJ's abilities on returning the ball.
It's so huge because in the first few games of the season, we always lost the field position battle too. And, you know, in the last few games, maybe outside of the Vienna game, we've had positive field position.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you told me at the sideline is that you were happy that the downfield attack worked pretty well. So we were going maybe a little bit away from this short passing game, or at least it worked because our receivers were beating the coverages and
Sure. I think Leipzig plays a little bit more aggressive than other teams we play. You know, a lot of teams we play really soft on us. But having Yannick back, which is what he does, right? He stretches the field.
Yeah.
And just Kyle being more aggressive in play calling led to us, pushing the ball downfield more than we have been. Yeah. And that's really been the missing link to our offense.
But we also have to say our defense also did a great job, especially against these 2 outside receivers. Ablé, I mean, they both played in the NFL. That says, I think, the most, right?
No, they did a great job, and kind of the weakness of the Leipzig offense is their O-line, and our defense was able to disrupt Connor Miller and disrupt some timing because Leipzig's not short on elite talent.
No.
It's just there's disparities in the talent a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was at halftime already clear. Nice field goal with the clock going to 0, 35-8 at halftime. In German, there's a saying, you would say, die Messe ist gelesen. Which means...
The measurement?
No, the Messe is a word for let's say the preacher done his job. He read the thing. Die Messe ist gelesen.
Okay.
Church is over.
Okay.
So there were no doubt that
No.
The confidence was pretty high at halftime in the locker room.
Yeah.
Little changements, adjustments, which is usual.
But I think the biggest thing was, in even the first time we played them, there was a little bit of taking our foot off the gas in the second half. And, offensively, what we wanted to do is, even if we started rotating, getting some guys in that don't usually play significant roles.
There you got your touchdown.
With Marco and I just switched. I'm really good at the whole fumble, snap, QB sneak thing.
It was the third or second.
Third time. even though we start rotating personnel, we still dial it up like we're still trying to score. And and I think the defense had the same mentality as
Did Ruben forgot where he should go? Nice interception by Ruben Saber there, but
trying to make plays, man.
It looked like Madden, Madden 2008 was a play, or on the return you could run all the way back to your end zone and then and he's a big Madden player, so
maybe, but I think everybody had the mentality of like, hey, let's put together 4 quarters. Which we've struggled to do consistently, because even games that we've had convincing wins, there's always been periods of time where either side of the ball has struggled.
And at the end, it was even possible to give you a break. It was the first time this year, I think, that you got subbed out, right?
Maybe. I think so, maybe.
At least for a little bit more than just...
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
like the last...
Something significant, yeah. And honestly, but that we could have pulled me even here. But like I said, the mentality was, let's
finish.
Let's play. Let's just play ball.
Yeah.
And point differential matters in this league.
Absolutely.
So it's not running up the score is not really a theme or a thema. You have point differentials in a wild card race could be the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If we're in the tiebreaker with Ryan Fire, then we don't play each other. It's point differential. So with that kind of setup, it just leads to that where it's like, we're gonna rotate guys, but we're still trying to put up points, and we're still trying to prevent them, and play calling aggressively.
And Leipzig. Also with Connor, it was we also had already know him from the past. He played in Austria. When was it?
Last year. Was
it last year? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played in Austria last year. In Graz for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a little reunion with known faces.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm just waiting for the touchdown from Leo Kober. Leo Kober, the starting backup quarterback.
Starting back.
He gave up this name. He gave him.
Yeah.
He named
I love it. I love it.
And there he is, I think.
Yep. And this is a super run.
Yeah.
He's a better athlete than
he was last year. He worked out a lot.
Yeah, but even last year, I think he's a
crazy throw.
Athlete. Yeah, it's crazy that he made that throw and that Kreshnik came down with it.
Awesome play to finish that game, and then it was 56.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like to finish on a high note, even though it was a uncompetitive game throughout the game. The first time we played Leipzig, we didn't have a good feeling finishing the game because we struggled finishing the game because of multiple reasons. Or like Stuttgart, we finished with a positive feeling because we ended up putting a scoring drive together at the end of the game, even though we struggled in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So I think coming off a loss like we had at Vienna, putting together 4-quarter games from here on out is going to be the key. Like we can't have any, not only from a competitive reason of potentially losing games, but also just from a momentum reason. Like we just need to put together solid quarters after solid quarters after solid quarters on all 3 phases as we hit potentially the playoffs in Frankfurt, right? Like, because those are theoretically win or go home games.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings us to the standings before every team went into a bye week. So in the north, Hamburg had a close game against Istanbul. You saw that?
Yeah, they were down 17-0.
And then they won it. So tough for Istanbul, but yeah, as a good team, you win these games, and at the end nobody talks about it. A win is a win. So Hamburg still at 7-1. Berlin is with 5-3, has the same score as we have. So also very important how we gonna play the second game against them.
Absolutely.
And the Wroclaw Panthers and obviously Leipzig are on 3rd and 4th place in the Northern Conference, our conference, Vienna Vikings still unbeaten. They had a game against the Surge. They won it. Then it's again us and Frankfurt. Also, the Frankfurt away game gonna be super important.
Yeah.
So like two playoffs get playoff.
That's
games.
what I mean. Like
Yeah.
if we take care of business in the next 2 weeks against the Surge and the Centurions, the playoffs.
Or not.
No, it's like quarterfinal, semifinal, in a way. Quarterfinal A and quarterfinal B.
Yeah.
You know, it's win or go home games, and even if Frankfurt, no matter what happens with Frankfurt and Vienna this weekend, they're still in striking distance, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, so we would have to be 2 games separated for them for that game not to matter.
Yeah.
And same thing with Berlin. If we go into that last game and we're game up on them, if they beat us and break the tiebreaker, it doesn't matter. So we just have to play really good football the next 4 weeks and have momentum.
Mm-hmm. And in the Southern Conference, Barcelona is back on the winning track. They won against Rheinfire, which helped us kind of a little bit because now they're at 4-4 and not at 5-3.
The nice thing with Rheinfire, if we have the same record as them, their point differential is so poor.
Especially scoring points.
Exactly. So they have a minus point differential where we're 99 up.
Yeah.
So for Rheinfire, it's a really tough blow because they would have had to be 1 game up on us, or theoretically Frankfurt, or theoretically Berlin to get in. So that was a tough loss for them. Puts them in a tough spot.
But who knows what happens? 4 more games. Everything is still possible.
A lot of football to be played.
And that's I think that's it for the moment from the last week's game. And we are coming now to another really interesting time. It was the Sunday after Leipzig till Wednesday night. A lot of things happened here in Innsbruck. A lot of things already were done, but also some late signings. And the players were on bye week and holiday, but our head coach and our management still worked, and we got some signings in.
Yes.
First, I want to thank you, the players who left our team.
Mm-hmm.
It is Dominic Shelton.
Besides Dominic.
Why?
He's a Thunder.
Yeah, but still.
No.
Okay, I want to thank you.
He's my cousin, and I won't thank him.
Family, hurts twice.
You know, some say blood's thicker than water until you leave for Berlin. You know what I'm saying?
Dominic was also a guest in our show here, so if you want to watch it, check it out on our YouTube channel. Really nice guy. For the reasons why the coaches or the head coach and the sports department decided to release him, I cannot talk because I don't know and I don't want to judge any personal decisions. It is what it is. It is in semi-professional league, and there are sometimes decisions who are not the most popular.
Well, can I comment on it?
Of course, because you're more...
Well, I think I don't want to speak in detail to Dominic. I'm not in those rooms. Yeah. You know, I'm not a part of that process. But I think when people get released or part ways, or there's a lot of things that go into it on both sides. And oftentimes, scheme comes into it a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that's what happened in Dominique's case, but it could be scheme, it could be personal situations, it could be team fit, it could be... So there's a lot of things that go into these things. So when somebody gets released or whatever the case may be on any team, and the fans are outraged or whatever, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that you guys have no idea that could justify it or not justify it or whatever the case may be. But point being, don't jump to conclusions when stuff like that happens. It could just be something where the fit in one way or another wasn't as good as one side or the other hoped.
Yeah.
So...
Oimbubi, thanks for your 7th month description. Awesome. Thank you very much. So thanks again, Dominique. He left Innsbruck and arrived in Berlin, so he found another franchise.
Of course he did.
And we're gonna meet him in a couple of weeks. And yeah.
I'm gonna throw him so many interceptions as punishment.
And good for him.
Yeah.
And I think we had a good time here with him. There's no bad blood or anything. And we also want to thank Joseph Fuchser who was by rule an so-called E-spot player, and we had to fill some needs on the defensive line, and that's why we part ways with him. He was a long-time Raider. He played for us several years. He's originally from the Czech Republic. He's a good friend of the Raiders, and yeah, I mean, you played with him
every year. I think he was brought in also in 2015. Well, he's been here since I've been here.
He
I'm
didn't play
sure.
for us last year.
No, but
He was
the
around.
program. Yeah,
he was around. And yeah, all the best to Dominique and Joseph. Wish you all the best, and you are always part of the Raiders family. Yeah, and this brings us to the signings.
Yep.
Of course, we had to fill these spots, and we also had some toppings. You said toppings?
Sure.
Some cherries on top.
Sure.
We found somebody for Dominique. It's Jay Liggins. Yeah, Sean. When I saw him the first time, I was impressed by his size, by his athletic looking. He was 1 year, I think, in the practice squad with the Philadelphia Eagles. Played a lower division or NAIA college.
Exactly.
Got the chance with the Eagles. Didn't work out the whole way. Went to Europe to the Bern Grizzlies. Played in Switzerland. Won the championship. And then we signed him.
Yep.
Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. I have a feeling he's going to be pretty good. He was an All-American in college.
Not only football.
Yeah, exactly. In track and field as a jumper
and sprinter.
I think he was All-American in jumping though.
Jumping.
Although it might have been sprinting.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's a freak. And he's a really good corner as well, and just potentially a better scheme fit, you know. And I think him with the other additions really is going to bolster our defense, which is, it's going to be fun to watch them play because they're already one of the best in the ELF. I think top 3, top 4 maybe. And these additions, including the other players are going to introduce, it's going to be fun to watch them in the last month and a half of the season.
And for me personally, now the biggest signing, because I
Literally.
met the biggest signing is Thomas Schaffer, who is an Austrian football player from East Austria, from the Viennese area, with some Tyrolian roots, which is funny, and went to high school, played for Stanford his full career, college career, and then got signed as a free agent from the Chicago Bears last year. Some minor injury issues got him released, because in the NFL you can't, if you have an ouchie, you have an ouchie, and then you might be out. And but he's still in super shape. I mean, he just walked by me. You guys gonna be happy with him. Gonna help our defensive line a lot. I mean, a Stanford alumni might play good football. What would you say? Probably.
If you're a multi-year starter in a
D1
Power 5 conference, particularly one like Stanford, you're a pretty good football player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are super happy to have him. Super happy, because it's gonna help us at the defensive line, where we had a early like preseason major injury of one of our defensive linemen with Manuel Jovic.
A couple though. I mean,
Chavaguta is still
only come back recently, and he's still not 100%.
Exactly. So we had to put some power in there, and that's also why we signed Vince Buffet, French defensive lineman, who played for the Leipzig Kings till the week before we played them. Got released. We picked them up. And we also, and this is, I think, something really cool, we also signed some Austrian talent.
Yep.
We got 2 players from the Salzburg Ducks who just finished their Austrian Football League season, Elijah Böhm and Philipp Löffelberger, also 2 defensive players, 1 linebacker outside Russia, kind of, and with Philipp, a true defensive lineman. And we signed probably one of the best tight ends of the AFL with Thomas Langecker from the Telstra Patriots. On this side, also thank you for the great cooperation with the Ducks and the Patriots to let them go. They finished their seasons. Now they want to continue it a little bit more, and we are super happy to have them.
Absolutely.
And on top, we also signed Rafael Belichi, a skill guy, multiple positions he can play on the skill offensive side, running back, wide receiver, also a little bit returner, a prospect for the future. He's from our Austrian team, and now got signed into the ELF team. Sean, how helpful is it to have now a little deeper roster for this last stretch of the season?
It helps a lot, and I think these guys might not be names, like Elijah or Philip, or we'll see about Thomas and Raphael, and even Simon Pilger and Tony Rabenstein. And these are maybe not guys, even though Rabenstein has seen some game reps already, that might not be as obvious of an impact maybe on game days. But what they do at practice and the ability that they give us to give us meaningful scout reps, or just take some reps, particularly from D-line and O-line, where it's still, practices are still always physical, and no matter how low the intensity you want to make it, there's still a physicality to that position, right? More than the other positions. And just having as many competent football players as possible is always a good thing. And you just need bodies at a certain point, particularly when you're 3 months in.
Yeah.
Right? We've been going at it pretty hard since early May. And to get some fresh legs in there, inject some new blood in there, and some new energy is always a good thing.
Nice. So rosters are complete. Also, most of the other teams, franchises, signed some players, added some players, and now, the rosters are set. If something now happens, you can't replace a injured guy anymore. Only your starting quarterback. There's like a last chance signing,
which is a really good idea, actually.
So
it's really smart.
If you're gonna get hurt, and then I'm gonna get signed as quarterback. This is the plan for the Raiders. And Leo still is the backup.
Starting backup. Yeah, he doesn't want to lose his starting job.
No, that's why But
nothing but quarterback powers.
With my arms. I learned this from you.
Yeah, that's good. I was actually going to comment on it because a lot of people do this, and it makes me.
I attended 2 of your clinics. So.
You did? Well, you hosted 2.
I hosted 2, and I listened to it. But back to the questions and comments who came in. First, I want to thank, of course, where was it? There, Silent Raiders. Thanks for the subscription, and also Blackie. Yes. I know I apologized already, and I know I talked about it, and I know that I wanted to do it, but I was on Papa month the last 4 weeks, and now I'm back in the office, and we're gonna do it. And Blackie, I saw your message. Thanks for that. I didn't respond. Sorry for that, but we will do the Discord, and I think it's a cool thing. And I text you, and then we figure something out. That you can maybe help me or be the moderator on that channel. Eulenbübel, how stressig is this week? It feels like a mayhem. What is mayhem?
Chaos.
This week now is not stressig. Last week, yes, it was. I can tell you a little secret. We signed the last player at 8:37, and 9 p.m. was deadline on Wednesday. So it was stressig. Great signings. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think our coaching staff and recruiting department did a great job. And yeah, that's cool that you say thank you to Eulenbübel for the sub. And I can help also with the Discord. Awesome. Chaos, yes, we have to do it. What, Flöze, Sonntag nach Innsbruck oder was? yeah, come to Innsbruck. We're gonna talk about the next game. Baby Nato is asking, do you guys think the new guys will get some reps against Stuttgart?
The Jamalcom, yes. Thomas, yes. Vincent, yes. Thomas Langeka, probably. The other guys, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if you have a guy from Stanford, you're going to play him. If you have a guy from the Philadelphia Eagles, you're going to play him. And of course, Vincent is a bona fide defensive lineman in Europe, and yeah, those guys are going to, I imagine, get in there immediately. Yeah. Particularly because defensive line is super easy to play. You just have to be a mindless,
strong man.
Yeah, zombie gorilla.
Yeah, you guys gonna see them.
But probably. you can plug and play them more easily than maybe a quarterback or a receiver or whatever the case may be. But no, they're gonna hit the ground running. I think a lot of them.
Yeah. So then the very important time already started, but let's talk about it. How important was this week off? Because there was no practice, there was no game. We gave our guys a whole week of holiday, no football, no meetings, no nothing.
And it was pretty much exactly at the 3-month mark.
But there was a bye week before, but we
practiced in the bye week. So there was, and that weekend off was nice, but to just kind of step away from just kind of step away from football for a second. And I think what its most important thing, what I kind of asked the team to do is kind of step away. When you're in season, right? It's hard to explain, but you're in a week by week mode. Mm-hmm. What do I have to do in this week to win this game? And then as soon as that game's over, okay, what do we have to do in this upcoming week to win this game? And so you lose the big picture often because you're just in the micro. And it's hard to see the big picture sometimes. So when you get a free weekend, and particularly a free week, where you don't have to game plan, you don't have to do anything, or at least we didn't offensively, and you can kind of step away and reevaluate some things. For the mindset it's really important. For the body, it's really, really important. And I think what the most important thing is, and even with me after playing for God knows how many years now, you miss football. You miss it. You miss the team. You miss the locker room. You miss practice. And I'm genuinely excited to practice tonight. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it kind of you reset, and then it's kind of you get energy and you can carry it into the next few games. So for me, and I think I've talked to a lot of guys about it, it was vital. It's vital to be able to do that.
Yeah, and it's also, of course, to get the body a little bit healthy and the ouchies away, and to get the mind, but to also, let's take the word from the beginning, to detox, football detox for a week, 100%. And then pull back in.
Exactly.
For this last stretch, because now we have 4 games in a row. Then I think it's already then semis and then a potential bye week.
Correct.
Or vice versa.
No, it's semis, bye week, final.
So in the best case, we have now 5 games in a row and then a bye week, and hopefully we have then another game. But who knows? Long season. Cool. So what about the ELF merch? Yes, we have the caps. The caps arrived, and we have also some teamwear arrived for you guys.
Really?
And, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I'm still not sure how this whole thing went that way, but at least the stuff arrived. We have also some shirts already. They were already in the web shop or in the fan shop at the games. And the next big project now, after I'm back in the office, is also the launch of the web shop. So for all the Raiders fans outside of Innsbruck, there's the chance then to order. But I have to get back in track now to sort out some things. There are so many emails I have to answer from the last 4 weeks, and you want to buy everything. Remember, we come to the game on Sunday to the merch stands. It's there every game, or wait a couple more weeks and then it's online, and then you can order and we ship it to you wherever you are. And we have caps, we have socks, we have shirts, we have hoodies, we have backpacks, we have even glitter shirts for women. We have bucket hats.
Or men. Come on.
Or men. We have, how you call these things the cheerleaders put in their hairs? The
ribbons.
Ribbons. We have cheer ribbons. We have little footballs. We have a lot of merch.
Not if you wear lederhosen.
So Sunday gonna be expensive. Yeah, but we come to that point because today's topic is Tiroler Tag. Yeah, we will talk about it in a second. There was... Oh, Oimbubi, you're crazy. Stop it. Stop it, Oimbubi. Save your money for the fan shop. He just gifted another 5 subs.
That's cool.
Hey, if you got a sub from Oimbubi, say thank you. He's amazing. He's one of the first guys who watched it, or who started watching here last year, and he gifted already 13 subs to the community. Thank you, Oimbubi. Very, very, very generous.
Mm-hmm. So good for you. Good for you.
Silent Raider is a guy from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's also cool.
I assume Silent Raider Germany.
Yeah.
There was a question about
the recruiting.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good point.
That's a good question. Yeah. Claw is asking: is there a big competition in recruiting Austrian players with the Vikings? Yes, it is. It is, because the Austrian market is not the biggest.
Correct. It's the answer. My answer would be yes, but maybe not as big as you would think. I think the top talent gets contacted by both clubs or franchises, obviously, if both people are doing their jobs. But oftentimes decisions for players are also like personal or work related, study related, whatever. And so in that regard, there's a geographical factor from the very beginning, and that often leads to decisions. And I don't want to discount the Vikings. I think they've done a phenomenal job this year, and obviously it's shown on the field. But there is an advantage being in east of Austria compared to the west of Austria, and we've been able to pull, a couple guys from Graz and a guy from Danube, and a couple guys here and there that maybe would be more so their territory. But they've done a great job adding Eastern talent too, and Central Austrian talent. Look at what Thomas Schnorr is doing for them. But of course there's a recruiting battle, but it's not like we're Cologne and Rheinfire, where there's other factors.
And it's also, Austria, a little regional. We have maybe more the western part.
Exactly. I mean, we're 5 hours away from each other by train, so it's, of course, because like you said, the market's not that big. It's the top talent's going to be contacted by both franchises, but I think it would be a bit different if it was Salzburg and Innsbruck, where it's where the geographical portion wasn't so influential.
Okay, then I just want to say one last thing about last weekend, because there was this national team camp here in Innsbruck. I watched a little bit their Sunday morning practice. Cool to see a lot of ELF players were there. For the people who don't know, there was supposed to be a game on that weekend against Germany. This was the original plan. That's why the ELF did this bye week, so all the ELF players could play for the national teams.
Okay.
But at the end, there was no national team game, but a camp. Couple Raiders, couple Vikings from the ELF franchises were there. It was cool to see how they practice. Shout out to Max Sommer, who is doing a great job with the national team, and it's great to see that Austria has a lot of talent, and they had a tryout with 60 guys, I think, on Thursday, and then a camp with 75 players. They're gonna cut it down for their game against France late September, I think. And then there was another big announcement. The Munich,
I saw.
who knows, are joining the ELF. What are you guys thinking about it, Raider Nation? Is it cool to have a derby now with our Bavarian friends? What do you think?
I think it's a really logical location geographically. So I'm not... Esme and I don't have weekly lunch together, so we don't have these conversations. But I think, if you're looking at the teams that they added, it was a Central European focus, right? And so if you looked at the map, once they added Hungary, Milan, and Zurich, there was kind of a hole in the map, and whether that was filled by Prague or whether it was filled by Munich or it was a logical place to put a team, not only geographically but also population wise, potential fandom, and also that NFL is coming and trying to build off that momentum. So I think it's good for the league, which I think everybody who's a part of the league wants the league to be successful. And yeah.
Did you saw that the name got leaked? If it's the name?
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody did some research.
Who knows if it's true? Let's wait. I think they want to announce it beginning of September or something. Yeah. So the 4 teams or the 16 teams for next season are complete. Going to be probably 4 divisions. Who knows how they put them together? Going to be an exciting fall for the future of the ELF.
It's great from a travel standpoint for the Raiders. We just got surrounded.
Imagine we get Zurich, Munich, and Mailand. That would be all like.
Yeah, we're gonna get on the bus in 2 hours. We're in the game.
Maybe not Zurich and Mailand, but
I mean, still the Milan game where we went there several years ago.
It's 4 hours.
Yeah, it's no different than a Viennese game, even maybe a bit closer.
Yeah. No, I think Vienna is further.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, who knows what's coming. So we are now, let's close this chapter last week, and we are now coming to an end. Oimbubi, thanks. We're gonna have a great weekend, and thanks that you guys connected with each other here. That's cool to see. The community is vital. Keep going. But let's start with the game day informations about the upcoming game. We gonna host the Stuttgart Search on Sunday, 3 p.m. here in beautiful Tivoli Stadium. The stage gonna be set. We're gonna have a little pre-game area. We're gonna have a special guest. Commissioner Izume is coming to the game. He is going to have an autograph session right before or right after the entrance starts at 1:30, I think, till 2:30. He is going to be around. If you guys want to have a photo with him or an autograph, just come there.
I'm going to.
Yeah, you're going to be on the field for the warm-up. You can do it after the game. And we going to have the special Tyrolean Day, which is really typical for us. We have it every year, once per season. And for maybe the new ELF fans, it's new. But we want to show our Tyrolean pride with the Tyrolean... what is the English word for it?
Tracht. I have no idea. Traditional wear.
Traditional wear. It's the lederhosen and it's the dirndl. And everybody who comes in traditional wear in Tracht gonna get free entrance. And it's beautiful. Our cheerleaders are going to be dressed in dirndl, and maybe also some management workers. Who knows if I come in lederhosen? Maybe. So if
maybe I come in. It's hot. I don't know. Just for the walk-in.
Do it.
No, probably not.
Do it. Be a proud St. Johanna.
I'm adopted.
You know that there's a sausage called St. Johanna?
Yeah.
It's a good sausage.
Yeah.
Be a St. Johanna. Come as a sausage.
St. John's famous for a lot of things.
Yeah.
World's longest canoodle tish. Google it.
Really?
Yeah, they have a canoodle fest every year in the fall.
Okay.
I mean, it hasn't happened as of lately, but they run a beer banquet through the whole Dorf, and everybody sits there and eats canoodle, and obviously drink Rüberblau.
Yeah, we tried this. We asked the football operations department of the ELF if we can play in lederhosen, but they denied.
I think they're a bit stiff. You have to pee in them.
Yeah,
that's what I've been told. It makes them soft.
No, players gonna wear obviously their game pants and not lederhosen. But maybe some are coming in lederhosen. Maybe you can catch them pre-game or post-game and make a photo or get an autograph. That's the organizational part or the highlights about that game. And it's gonna be really cool. We are really happy, especially after having 4 weeks no home game. Now we have 2 home games in a row. And we hope that the stadium's going to be packed. So come to that game and cheer for our Raiders. Now let's switch to the sports side. Stuttgart Search. We had the game there. we won it 40-0, I think. Was
I don't remember.
I think it was a shootout. And yeah, they're 0-8. Tough season for them. Struggling. Also had some changes in the coaching staff, changes on the quarterback position, changes, multiple personal football player changes.
Yeah.
And now they're at 0-8. They have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And I think that's the dangerous part, right?
Yeah, it's always dangerous, and because they're going to come out guns blazing, which because yeah, exactly like you said, the most dangerous teams are the teams that have nothing to lose. If they get blown out, doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But if they put up a fight or sneak off a win, they could potentially ruin our season, right? Or derail it, let's say that. Yeah, and they're 0-8, but they're not a bad football team. It's even the first game we were there, however many points we scored, everything was earned. They don't give you anything.
I can remember the show where you said, the score is high, but it was
tough.
It was a tough physical
It's a tough game. They have good players. Their middle linebackers are both playing really, really well. The American DB is really good. They have solid football players everywhere, which is almost every team in the ELF. And then, when you change quarterback and you change coaching staff, you saw with Istanbul, it can mean a big difference. Now they haven't had the immediate success, but they probably, I forget what game was it, whether it was Wroclaw or somewhere in the last few games, they probably should have had a win. And
was it Frankfurt? I think that was a close game against Frankfurt.
Did Frankfurt win at the last second field goal? Was that Stuttgart?
No,
that was
Wroclaw.
That was
Frankfurt Wroclaw.
Right. So, but nevertheless, they did play Frankfurt competitively, and I think they played another team competitively. It's like, if you don't come to play, you're going to have a tight game. You could lose.
Yeah.
Because they're not bad, and just because they're 0-8 doesn't mean they can't beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah.
And so, thank you. So, it's the focus is like every week. Got to execute. Got to have a good game plan and got to execute.
The focus doesn't change, right? And
no,
the goal doesn't change, and the work ethic. You don't.
And we can't afford it either. We're not in a place where we can take anybody lightly.
No,
like one loss could really ruin everything. Like we're in control of our own destiny in terms of the playoffs, and in one game we would lose that.
Yeah,
and
no, it's gonna be, and you never take a team too easy. That would be really stupid, and
this league's too good for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're gonna see if we made the first step direction playoffs, because this is what it is, like you said a couple minutes before. Galaxy Search win overtime. So it is. Of course, they had a high loss against the Vikings 2 weeks ago, last game, but
Vikings are on a different level than everybody else at the moment.
Vikings, we saw it the week before. Vikings are just very good at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to an end. If you guys have any questions, post them in the chat. We're gonna put our songs of the day on our Spotify playlist. I would love to put a song on there, but it's not on Spotify.
I wonder if mine is. It's been stuck in my head as of lately.
And so you have yours already?
Yes.
Then tell me.
You're Welcome by The Rock.
You're Welcome by The Rock.
Well, I don't know. It's Dwayne Johnson sings it.
So
but it's there you go. You're Welcome, Dwayne Johnson.
Okay, is it cool? Dwayne The Rock Johnson sings a song.
Yeah, he was it's an animated movie. He was in a musical.
Oh, okay.
You've probably heard the song on TikTok or
maybe,
social media.
Maybe.
No, I'm not gonna sing it.
No, don't sing it.
No, I'm not gonna sing it.
And I
usually people pay money to
put from Trettmann. There's already a song from Trettmann on this list.
Way to be diverse. So.
Nur mit den Echten ist the name. Nur mit den Echten. It's from Jesus.
Nah, this song is a real earworm.
Nur mit den Echten.
No, that's terrible.
You don't know it. You don't know it. For the people who didn't follow our playlist yet, it's already, listen, 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours
What can I say?
of awesome.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was Dwayne Rock Johnson sings
Awesome.
that. Yeah, crazy, huh?
But hey, there are 6.5 hours of awesome music.
If you're on a playlist and want to listen to a playlist where every song is gonna be vastly different than the song before, just like somebody took a handful of songs and shook them up in a box and threw them at you, this is the playlist for you.
Yeah, but it's a great. Like I said before, I listen to this playlist often. I love it. Yeah. So there was one thing, Sean, man. Now that song stuck in my head the rest
You're
of
welcome.
the day. Silent Raider.
You're welcome. Okay, I see what's happening here. That's it.
Maybe we do a singing show someday.
I feel like if I haven't done karaoke in a long time,
but we should do a karaoke show. Maybe we do it.
Nobody would want to listen to a karaoke
Of
show.
course, for the Christmas show again. Christmas show is the best. Last year Christmas show was a blast.
Yeah.
This year gonna be even better. We're gonna look. We have a big TV there. We could have the lyrics there. Maybe we can't. We might have to. With the rights of the songs. There's sometimes issues on Twitch, so we have to.
So we all have to sing original songs.
Our own songs. Then nobody.
I have 2 original songs. 3 original songs.
You wrote some songs,
of course.
Yeah,
Who's
but
Bug Out?
yeah, which is the melody?
I have to
stolen.
sing a cappella.
You have to sing
Which
that.
is fine. Which is fine. I have the U15 coaches rap. We just have to get Stanley back.
Your last words to the audience, Sean.
Exciting times.
Exciting times. It was a pleasure. Pleasure to be back next week again, maybe with a guest. Let's see who is performing well this Sunday. Come to the stadium, support us. Thanks for this great show today. It was really nice. Oimbubi, again, thanks a lot for your support with the subscriptions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a nice... Huh?
I thought it was Chow Cacao.
Chow Takao.
Chow Takao.
Chow Takao is, I think that's Philippinese language.
Mm-hmm. That's, if I had to guess based on my knowledge of foreign languages.
See you on Sunday at the stadium. Come in your lederhosen or your dirndl. Meet Patrick Izume and buy some ELF merch at our stands. I'm gonna be there, and
I'm gonna be there too. Not at the merch stand, but
on the field and
the game,
throwing some balls. Bye bye. Ciao, Kakao. Danke.
Ciao, Tekao.
Tschüss.